What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Brennan, aka Drip from Team-DDD, back with another video. In today's video, we have the MAGIA build. I apologize, it's been a while since I posted and I said this was coming, but you know me, if you're a member of the channel, then you know that I like to practice my lists before I put them out. I might not be the first one to do it, but I strive to be the best one to do it, in the form of the decks that I take under my wing and the ones that are my pet decks per se, and are my favorite decks, to be able to maximize the consistency, make them unique, and along with that, make them as competitive as possible for you guys. There's an iteration of this deck already up on the Patreon. I decided not to post this version 2.0 on the Patreon because I didn't want to keep you guys waiting any longer, and I also didn't want to post the 1.0 list since I found the 2.0 list to be better and more consistent in my personal opinion. So shout outs for everybody for their patience and cooperation with that. Before we begin this video, if you don't mind, if you like this kind of content, please hit the like button. If you don't mind, please subscribe if you're not already as well. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload, and check the description for all the ways to support me: my Patreon, my Discord, my affiliate link for TCG Player. Zero charge to you, just gives me a small kickback for you using it, and I appreciate you for it. And then my merch store and everything down there as well. But again, you can hit the Discord to become a member of the D.D.D fam, and if you do, and then I'll see you when you get there. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video, guys. It's gonna be a 40 card list. There is my own spice in this that no one else is running right now, but I'm sure after this video goes out, just like when I made Priestess viable, everyone else is going to copy and paste my idea on that too. So keep in mind you saw it here first. Let's go ahead and get it going. Two beautiful DDS Blue Eyes. You only need two. This is not a Kaiba mashup, so we're not running three. So this is literally, let's make Magia, and if we can't make Magia, then let's at least do Blue Eyes things. If you want to see a Kaiba mashup, then just let me know. I can see what I can do. If we get enough likes and enough comments on it and likes on the comments or whatever, so lets me know basically that you guys want to see a Kaiba mashup. I can do that. So Kaiba.deck pretty much. But yeah, two vanilla, that's all you need. I have yet to get the QCR yet, but Chaos Max. It's not even, this card's not even that much of a brick as what a lot of people like to try to say it is. This is a Towers, and if worst case summoning this, your opponent struggles to out it, and it can at least buy you time to get back into the game. Is what I really like, honestly. But then the spice card of the list that I decided to test and start running, and it's very consistent. Before I reveal this card, I want to mention the reason why I opted to run this card is because if they imperm or ash you or imperm your Spirit Dragon, then even if you go Sage and you search Priestess, and then you link off into the Spirit and they imperm it, then your Priestess is just freaking dead. And it could have been like an Effect Veiler or something else to search. I wanted to be able to still get to Magia with that being the case if they imperm ash you or whatever. So as long as you still have access to Vanilla / Roar or Ancients, you're golden, Pony Boy. And that's the thought process behind this. But the spice card is Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. This card makes it to where your Neo Kaiser Seahorse is a 1.5 card combo to be able to get access to, as long as you open Maiden access plus Neo Kaiser Seahorse. This guy makes it to where you can get instant access to this, and it makes Neo Kaiser Seahorse a 1 to 1.5 card combo. You just need to have Maiden access plus Neo Kaiser Seahorse. So whether that be Wishes or Maiden herself or Sage resolving to get Maiden, and then you can go from there. Because the safe way to play this deck is, instead of just burning your resources going tunnel vision and going straight for Priestess, if you open a combination of Sage, Wishes, or Neo or whatever, always grab the Maiden first before you go Neo and stuff like that, because you foolish the Blue Eyes Chaos Max off of Neo, and then you go Wish after you go, and then you link off into Spirit, and then once you get access to Vanilla through Spirit and all that, you can summon this off of Roar. And that's how you get access to that Via line instead of the Priestess line. But we still have the Priestess line as well. This card is really, really nasty because ever since I've been testing this online, like nobody really sees it coming. Nobody sees this coming at all because they're so accustomed to everything else and all the other lines and the Priestess line and stuff like that they never see this coming and never respect it because they just burn their hand traps because they're taught to imperm / ash the first two interactions in the form of Sage and Spirit Dragon. So when they think just because they cut that off, then the game's over and they just pass turn, which is not the case really, and it's just not. And as long as you open optimal, that is, and you're a good pilot, you'll be fine. But that's it for the big dragons. Moving on to the tuners. 3 Sage. Shoutouts to the boys for helping me get my playset of ulti. I still don't have my QCRs, but it's fine. I'll get them soon enough. 3 Maiden. And then 1 Priestess. Shoutouts to my beautiful German print. My favorite foreign print. And then 1 Ancients. I'm not running Legend because we're not running Alternative. If you're running Alternative, then you need Legend. But I like the Ancients because Ancients get you access to this if need be, and it can also get you access to Vanilla if you need to be to get Maiden access to get back into the game per se. And then its Banish effect to add back is really nice too because like. If you have to go Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon early, you can use this to shuffle it back into the extra deck and then go you can go the Crimson Dragon play if you need to. Because I still run the Crimson Dragon play because the Crimson Dragon play, it helps you end games fast, and that's all that matters is ending games fast. Spells, consistency, 3 Wishes, 2 Roar. There is an argument to run 3 Roar. But I opted to run a different utility card instead of 3 Roar just in case I wouldn't brick on them because it's an extra utility. I mean, it's an extra consistency card, which we'll see here in a second. I do opt to run the brick Chaos form, even though it is a brick. The reason being is because I just want to maximize this. On top of that, getting access to this early on, if you hard draw this and getting access to this through Priestess or whatever. Is if that all that resolves is really, really nice. Because like I said before, Chaos Max is a tower at worst case. So like, I don't know, it's not that bad. This was called by the grave, and if you don't want to run this, you can still hard summon Chaos Max by just banishing the trap card. I just didn't want to have to burn my trap card if I didn't need to. But this can very well be, this can be anything really. So this is like a flex spot. I just opt to actually run the Chaos form. 1 Ultimate Fusion, and 1 Maws standard. And then the 3rd Roar and the extra consistency card that I decided to run was 1 Bingo. I'm not a big fan of this card, but I wanted to run it because it gets you access to pretty much any of your big dragons, and it can actually search this in some fashion, even if you get really lucky off the RNG. And it's an extra 4th copy of Wishes. I went into building this to completely just accept the fact if I get drolled, I get drolled. That's fine. But while I'm comboing along, I still try to play around droll / be able to play through droll if I can, via having access to Maiden and then Roar or whatever. So if you get drolled, you get drolled. It is what it is. If you have to lead with Bingo Machine Go to get access to your Wishes, then that's fine. And you get drolled on res, then that just sucks. You weren't going to really win anyways. The last 2 traps, Majesty, True Light, self-explanatory. Then 3 of my favorite cards in the entire deck. Neo Kaiser Seahorse. It makes me sad that this is not at least searchable off of Bingo, because that would be freaking amazing. The fact it just says Blue Eyes card, I don't know, man. It's just annoying. It's frustrating. That's one of the biggest things that I hate about Bingo Machine Go, because it's not generic enough for our own archetype. That's been my issue with it since its existence. But that's it for the Blue Eyes stuff. On to the non-engine. One thing I wanted to be able to do with this is I wanted to at least have 12 non-engine in this. Yes, this is not a super competitive deck to where you can play 15 plus non-engine, but I at least wanted 12 non-engine. The non-engine is replaceable in and out to whatever you want. I just wanted good trade 1-for-1s and good blowout ones at that too. So like the best ones that trade 1-for-1, and then the best blowout ones that are currently in this format. And that is Droll and Lockbird, because it's a blowout card and it's a spellcaster. Even though it's counterproductive, because these two are counterproductive. 3 Fua, because like if you go Fua, they go Ash, then you still have Droll. If you go Fua and then you draw enough, and you just go Droll after you draw whatever you need. And I'm on 2 Ash, 2 Imperm, 2 Veiler. This is my 12. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. These trade decently 1-for-1, and this is a starter at worst case. So like, yeah, why not? And then this could be reset off of Tyrant, so why not? And then Ash is Ash. I don't like Purge. I just don't. If you want to run Purge, that's fine. It's just these 6 up top are the most blowout ones right now, better than Nib and all that, because like Malice with their new support can just play through Nib, don't care. And this is mainly for Ryziel and Mitsurugi and Water and stuff like that. Just random rogue decks and other meta decks. But this is the non-engine that I've seen to work for me and I've had success with. You can adjust it to see fit or whatever. And the last 2 cards in the deck is Foolish Burial and Prosperity. Consistency over utility. That is the motto that I teach all of you guys, and that's the motto that I preach. Consistency over utility. I know I say it all the time, but consistency over utility merch soon on the store. But Foolish Burial is a 4th copy of Neo Kaiser Seahorse. So why not? And it can send Ancients, it can send everything you need access. It can send, there's several situations where like I open this and Neo Kaiser Seahorse, and I use Neo Kaiser Seahorse to get access to Maiden, and I just use this to send the later in the combo to send the Chaos Max to be able to get access to that, so you can be able to make Magia. Onto the extra deck. 2 Spirit, that's it for the Link monsters. I'm not running Hieratic Seal. I feel Hieratic Seal only comes up if you open subpar, and you weren't going to win with a Hieratic Seal anyways, in the form of like they Imperm and Ash you, and you didn't open an extender. So you just basically end with like a vanilla / Spirit on board. Since we're not running Promite, you don't have the necessary like extension to be able to keep extending to be able to make Hieratic Seal in the form of like Lordly Load and stuff like that. Definitely considering we're trying to use Roar to get access to Abyss if our Priestess gets stopped. So that's another thing too. That's it for the Link monsters. Synchros. I like this card because it is a great value brand Hieratic Seal. And it's easier accessible in this deck, in this iteration of the deck, that is. For the 9s, we got Lightstorm because of Odeon, the Mirror Match. It's good into Fiendsmith if you're getting rid of their sequence to make it to where their Desiree's targetable and all that stuff. So it's not bad. It comes up a lot for me at least. Only 2. You only need 2. Spirit's been like that way for a while. Not much needs to be said. You only need a 3rd if you're playing Sync or Rumble, but if you're playing Sync or Rumble, then you're doing a lot of win more anyways. One is Zuraz because it's good into Ryziel, and it's just really nice, like I mentioned in my previous list, to be able to bring back Vanilla bring back Maiden, to be able to reset this True Light if need be. That's it for the 9s. And then one big boy, big girl, whatever. One Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit. You only need 1. You can shuffle it back if you need to with Ancients. And then the Crimson Dragon package. One Crimson Dragon and 1 Stardust Divine. I don't run Cosmic Blazar. I mean, you could if you want. If you don't want to pay for this, that's fine. And then Fusions, Tyrant. I still like the Neo because the Neo comes up for in the matches where you know you can't get to Magia, and you just do the old school standard line since we've had structure. 1 OG, and then 1 boy himself. This is it for the fusions. If you don't want to run the Crimson Dragon package, you can cut these 2 for even though I don't recommend not playing the Crimson Dragon package because it kills, and so there's some top heavy decks where you need the extra interruption. But if you're just stubborn and you don't want to buy it or don't want to play it, then you can cut this for a Hermetic Seal and cut this for a Twin Burst if you want, or the XZ, whatever you want to run. But I'd advise at least Twin Burst. I don't know. That's my favorite fusion in the entire Blue Eyes archetype. You've heard me explain that millions of times before. The last card is Typhon because it's just too free and comes up too much. But I never missed SP Little Knight. I never missed Lina. Lina was really good when Raizio had multiple copies of Detonator. But the way they play it now, they play it so low to the ground in the form of always having access to Detonator that you'll never not be able to out the Detonator. You would almost have to out the Detonator twice in order to get access to steal it in that matchup. And stealing an Engraver or something like that in the Fiendsmith matchup just is not really necessary. Yeah, you can steal a Desiree, but you're not going to have a negate with it because there's nothing to equip with it, so there's just no point. It's just copium at that point. So just run more power dragons basically at that point in my opinion. Because the reason why I say you would have to out the Detonator twice is because the Eclipse Twins, they always use the Eclipse Twins. So if you out it the one time, they just use Eclipse Twins that was attached to it to re-summon it back basically. So it's never going to be in the graveyard unless you out it twice in one turn. And at that point, if you're outing it twice in one turn and you can't kill them, then something's wrong. But that's it for the main extra. I don't have a side deck because I only do tournament lists with side decks. You know that. It's been that way for 4 years now, 5 years. But if you need help with the side deck, then just let me know in the Patreon or whatever, or let me know in the Discord. But I definitely would start out with obviously Malice, Hate, and stuff like that too, and then book cards. One thing I want to mention though about the non-engine is there is a world where you could potentially play 3 Dark Ruler instead of Fawalos because of the blowout card. Definitely post Alliance Insight when Malice gets all those negates and crap, because the Imperms and Ashes and Valors are not going to trade 1-for-1 enough in that matchup, and then Droll doesn't do enough into that matchup. So if you're playing against Malice, you have a Malice problem, then like I said, adjust your non-engine to combat that. At the time of recording this, it's just now pre-release for Alliance Insight. So if you're watching this after, that's the reason why my non-engine is lined up the way it is, and that's why I'm explaining it the way I am. But yeah, just a non-engine as you see fit. But Dark Ruler, I think, is going to find its way back into the format, back into the game. Standard non-engine rotation, it happens. But I really do like this iteration of the deck. I like this being able to have all these starters, all these extenders, and being able to still fit 12 non-engine. Feels really, really good. But with that being said, guys, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Be on the lookout for future content, and I love you guys so much for all the support, no matter what form it is. It's your boy Brandon, aka Drip from Team-DDD. Sign out next time. Peace. Good doing, my guys. Love you.